good writing means good sentences. It's actually sentences that you use to write. So the better your sentences, the better your writing. So for today, we have 5 sentence rules that you must know and understand if your writing is going to be good. Hi, I'm Nenye Andy, and you're welcome to my classroom, Fast Error-Free English. Our aim for today is to help you to be better able to construct and complete your sentences, to improve your writing. And as our objectives, we're going to give these rules with our own examples. So we want you to add your own example for each rule. And at the end, we'll allow you to construct a paragraph of your own made up of 5 complete sentences. Let's look at sentence errors. Oh, what actually is the problem? Lots of problems could come in your sentences. Your sentences might give incomplete information or even give too much information. Some of your sentences might be wrongly punctuated. You might use the wrong words. Or maybe even use too many words. Where there are 2 words that could help to describe something, maybe you've given about 10 different words to describe the same thing. And your sentences could be boring because you've been repeating the same type of sentences. In all these errors and even more, knowledge of these 5 rules will help you construct better sentences. The first rule is each sentence you write must have its own subject and verb. Remember, each one must have its own. You cannot borrow a subject from another sentence or borrow a verb from another sentence. Each sentence must have its 2 important parts. The naming part that says what the sentence is talking about or who the sentence is talking about. And the telling part that tells the information about that subject. Let's look at the examples. My teacher knew that James was late. Who's the sentence about? Who's performing the action? My teacher. Good. That part, the naming part is there. What did the teacher do? What's the information about the teacher? That's the predicate. Knew that James was late. Complete sentence. The next example, some workers had a longer shift. Some workers, we're talking about some workers. So that's the subject. What happened to them or what did they do? What's the information about them? Had a longer shift. So you see, each sentence must have a naming part and a telling part. Below this video, you will see links to all other videos that have similar things concerning subjects and predicates. But let's check the sentence now. This course will teach me to write well, to also practice good listening skills. This is an excerpt from what somebody wrote in an essay. So let's check these sentences and find out whether each sentence has a naming part and a telling part. The first one is, this course will teach me to write well. What's the naming part? What are we talking about? This course. Good. There's a naming part. Then what's the information? The predicate. Will teach me to write well. Complete sentence because it has its own subject and its own predicate with a verb. Now let's look at the second sentence. To also practice good listening skills. You will see, so what is going to help me to practice these good listening skills? Nothing. So there's no naming part. Now, students write like this because they expect that since in the previous sentence they've mentioned this cause, they can go ahead and continue that way. But remember that each sentence must have its own naming part. You cannot borrow a naming part from the previous sentence. So we also have to give this second sentence its own naming part. Of course, we can use, instead of repeating the cause or this cause, we can use the pronoun it. That becomes the naming part for the second sentence. So the second sentence we now read, it will also help me practice good listening skills. So I hope we've got that. Very important rule. Each one you write must have its own subject and its own predicate. Did we go ahead? Now the second rule, end your statements with full stops, not commas. There are different types of sentences, and the most common type of sentence is the statement, which we all also call the declarative sentence. And such sentences must end with full stops. You find that many times students write commas as if commas can end sentences. There are 3 end quotation marks that can end sentences. One is a comma, the next one is a question mark, and the third one is an exclamation mark. A comma, a small pause, cannot end a sentence effectively. So no matter how many commas you write in your statement, inside your essay, you can give as many commas as you want. Unless you get to a full stop, you've only written one sentence only. So if you have a look at this example, how many sentences are in this paragraph? This is a whole paragraph that the student wrote concerning his school. And you will notice that there are commas and commas and commas for different ideas. These commas cannot end sentences. So because there's only one full stop at the end here, this paragraph has only one sentence. Wow, that's not possible. So let's have a look at just a few of the so-called sentences. Let's start with, our college is the best school for hospitality because it teaches students event planning and care, comma, how to do practical work and ethics, comma, many other various subjects like communication skills, which teaches me academic writing, comma, accounting, where the students learn how to do profit and loss, and so on and so forth. And only one full stop at the end. You have only one sentence here, because until you get to the full stop, there's no sentence yet. So this is one mistake that many people make. Don't do it. Don't keep on rambling, writing and adding more and more ideas, thinking that by separating them with commas, you're forming sentences. If you're talking about something and you're using statements, or as we call it, declarative sentences, only when you get to a comma, sorry, a full stop, have you ended the sentence. So that's another error. Now, the next rule we need to know is that we should not put too many ideas in one sentence. Do not put too much information in one sentence. The more ideas you put in your sentence, the more mistakes you're going to make. So many mistakes will be made. So for your writing, try and reduce the number of ideas for now to about 2 to 3 to 4 ideas or information in one sentence and connect them properly. Let's look at our example. Remember that rambling sentence with too many commas before. Now we've corrected it. So let's see how we corrected it. We reduced the ideas and we put full stops and connected ideas with different words. Our college is the best school for hospitality. Full stop. Now that's a simple sentence with only one idea. We started with that because we want to create an effect. Okay, so the next one, it teaches students all about event planning, including practical work and ethics. The college also takes many other subjects like communication skills, which teaches me academic writing. Full stop. We also have accounting, where the students learn to do profit and loss accounts and plan meals. Full stop. Moreover, and so on and so forth. So you can see that that rambling sentence with only one full stop has been moved into many sentences, all with different ideas, some with only one idea, others with about 2 or 3. And each one was connected with words like including, also, furthermore, moreover. This sounds a lot better. So remember, do not put too many ideas in your essays, in each sentence. What you need to do is gather your ideas, about 2, 3, 4 of them in one sentence, and connect each idea with a good linking word, as we've done so far. So let's go ahead to the fourth one. Clarify your information, your meaning, using proper punctuation. Punctuation is very important. Many students think we can be careless with punctuation and not experience the result of that. Punctuation is actually very important. Now, I got this online. What's the difference in meaning? Just note that the only difference between these two sentences is that one has a comma while the other one does not have. A says, let's eat, grammar. So we're talking to grammar. That comma there shows that we've not been told what we're going to eat, but we're telling grammar, let's eat. Now, the second one does not have a comma at all, and it changes the meaning entirely. Let's eat grammar. So you see, just the presence or the absence of that comma changed everything. So we need to find time to carefully learn, especially the most common punctuation marks. Find out and practice how and when you will use capital letters. Look at the different ways to use commas. The semicolon, the colon, the question mark, the exclamation mark. These are the most common punctuation marks, and there are many others. But if you start with these and grow with them, you will see that your work will be meaningful. Your sentences will be better. The fifth rule we need to talk about is that we need to show that we know different types of sentences. Don't just write an essay with only statements, which is what many students do. If there are about 10 different types of sentences and your work includes only one type, that means you've given yourself 1/10. You've not shown off the fact that you know different types of sentences. So what do? In your paragraphs, include simple sentences like the one we did with only one idea. Then also make sure there are longer sentences, complex or compound sentences that have 2 or more ideas and explanations within them. Sometimes you include questions, include exclamations, include conversations. well punctuated, of course. Sometimes start your sentences with the main information. Other times, give a suspense and start your sentences with the unimportant part and leave the main information last. So show a good variety in your sentence structure, and you will actually write a lot better. So at the end of all this, we have learned that our sentences must be complete. Each one should have its own subject and its own predicate. Our sentences should end with an end mark, a full stop, an exclamation mark, or a question mark. Commas never end sentences. Our sentences should not be too long with too many information, all separated by commas, because that will make us make more mistakes. So sentences should include maybe 2 to 4 different ideas, well connected with linking words. Our sentences should be well punctuated, and because of this, we should find time to learn the use of the more common punctuation marks. And of course, our sentences should show variety. We should show off the fact that we know different types of sentences: questions, exclamations, complex sentences, compound ones, simple ones, longer ones, and shorter ones, and so on and so forth. So at this time, I would like you to try and write one good paragraph on any topic and check your sentences. Make sure they obey all these rules that you've learned. You can, of course, give us a comment below and we will get back to you on it. Or you will check it yourself by going through all these rules. So like, comment, subscribe. If you want us to help you on an online lesson or an offline lesson, one-on-one or a class, please get in touch with us. Our contact details are below this video, and you're welcome to watch our introductory video at any time. So see you in the next video.